For movement signs for Carol Cummings, a retired teacher, Emil Griffith, and also remembrance for Pearl Harbor Day, which is tomorrow. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Vote 101, public comment on agenda items. Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to listen to public comment. Although state law does not require us to hold a public comment period, we trust this because we believe it's crucial for us to hear from our community members about the concerns and issues. The board is here to listen. The public comment period is not designed to debate or dialogue. Please do not expect the board to respond to your concerns or questions tonight. We take your concerns and questions seriously and want to have sufficient time to process and research issues if need be. Any questions from public should be submitted to the use of the public comment form, which may be obtained online or at the desk with the district clerk. We will have the proper staff member get back to you as appropriate. I also want to point out that under state and federal privacy laws, we are unable to address any comments or questions about specific students or school personnel. We would ask you to go through the appropriate administrative channels. A total of 30 minutes at the beginning of each board meeting is set aside to allow for public comments on agenda items only. Public comments at the beginning of the meetings are limited only to those items on the agenda. Persons who wish to participate in the public comment portion of the meeting are asked to provide their name and the specific agenda item to which they wish to speak. Individual comments on agenda items are limited to 3 minutes and are welcomed. If you wish to address items related to our school district that are not on tonight's agenda, another comment period is provided at the end of each meeting for that purpose. In the interest of civility and respect for different points of view, clapping, booing, or any disturbance or disruption during either public comment period is not permitted. At this time, comments related to agenda items are welcomed. Okay, seeing none. Recognition of comments from the Board of Education. Yes.
Okay.
Peggy?
Yes. Through Dr. Cardwell's help, AAUW's Leading to Reading project received permission to place little libraries at 5 of the Wappingers elementary schools. The library was installed at Fishkill Plains Elementary School on Veterans Day. The house has been delivered to Kinry Road Elementary School, and the principal, Adam Gerson, is arranging for installation. Other schools which will receive the libraries are Gayhead, Evans, and Brinkerhoff. 2 Boy Scouts are each building 4 houses as their Eagle Scout projects. A woodworking resident of Statsburg, a neighbor of one of our members, built a 9th house. 2 are also in the process of being installed at Astor Early Childhood Centers on Delafield Street and Sheep Road. AAUW members are providing the books in collaboration with the Friends of the Poughkeepsie Public Library District and will maintain the libraries. Thank you very much to Dr. Cardwell to the principals and the Boy Scouts and AAUW and the Friends of the Poughkeepsie Library for their efforts to make more books available to the community.
Marie?
Yes, I'd like to congratulate Cassidy Robinson, who was invited to have her artwork on display at Panderatic Restaurant in Beacon. Chastity and her family were welcomed by the restaurant owner, Shirley Wetlock, and got to meet 3 of the actors from the BBC series Doctor Who, which was part of her artwork. Also on Saturday, RCK's art teacher, Ms. Keller, brought her students from her advanced art class to the Incredicon at the Poughkeepsie Galleria, where they spent the day meeting other local artists, as well as showcasing and selling some of their original art pieces. Thank you.
Anyone else? Yeah. Well, first, I'd like to congratulate the various athletic teams, both the RCK John Jay, Scholar Athletes Awards. And in order to qualify for that particular recognition, 75% of the students have to have a 90 or above average. That's quite an accomplishment. In addition, there are individual students who are recognized, and their average individual had to be 90 and above. So congratulations. And I want to thank the coaches for making that possible. Also, I would like to inform the community that there are many concerts going on in the next few weeks. Tomorrow night will be the first one at Royce Ketchum High School, 7 o'clock, and I hope you can attend them. That's it. Anybody else? All right. 4.03, committee reports. First one has got capital improvement from Chair Schlushauer.
Thank you, President Lumia. Just some quick updates. Playground equipment from Myers Corners thankfully has been delivered, and installation should begin this week. Unfortunately, we were hoping to have it already installed, but as I had mentioned at previous meetings, there was some delay with the equipment coming for obvious reasons. But thankfully, it's here. Hopefully, weather permitting, most if not all of the playground will get installed at some point this month. So very happy finally that the equipment has arrived. The committee is really focusing right now on our building condition survey that has to be done every 5 years. We're looking to put together a proposal for the full board and the community as we move forward to address the roughly $75 million worth of improvements that we need that were identified within the 5-year survey. Also, phase 4 of our project, which was leftover excess funds from our phase 1 and phase 2 capital projects and our site and phase 3, we now instituted a phase 4 with monies that we had saved. We're hoping to have bids go out at some point end of January, early February for that phase 4 work to be taken care of over the summer, and those upgrades to be done by the end of the summer and ready for September. There is an item for the full board to review tonight, 7.04. We did have some change orders. Just real quick, there's no excess money that's being spent. The money was all part of the existing phase. It's a savings. So again, it's just money being reallocated for some upgrades. And again, sometimes when you pull back the wall, you don't know what's back there until you actually pull the wall back. So there's always some unforeseen circumstances. But thankfully, we came in under budget, so it's not costing the district or the taxpayers any additional funds. And then just a quick update on the progress for John Jay for Auditorium Drive for the addition for the student drop-off. We were hoping to have that project completed by September next year of 2022. Unfortunately, that may not happen just due to dealing with Department of Transportation. So it looks like at this point that project is not going to be completed until September of 2023. If that does change and the project could be a little bit more accelerated, I'll definitely give everybody an update. But that's it for capital.
This Legislative Action Committee, Chairman Schlushauer.
All right, real quick, with legislative action, we did have a meeting. We're still continuing to do some research and work on the IDEA funding. That's the Individual Disabilities Education Act. Just to let everybody know, because Congress is not in session and they won't be back until the beginning of the year, most of those bills that we were looking at to address with the full board theoretically are going to expire on the 31st. So the committee decided to hold off until the beginning of January to see which bills that we were interested in reviewing and possibly discussing and sending a letter in favor of or against to see whether or not those bills are going to be resubmitted and new numbers. So we're going to hold off before we make a decision in which direction we're going to go. There are several IDEA bills that are pending, and if they're not going to be resubmitted, then it doesn't make sense to focus on them. The other thing that the committee is looking at for, I'd say by the second meeting in January, we're looking to propose an additional 2 or 3 items on our charter. So we will come forward to the full board for a revised charter with 2 or 3 new topics to address for the spring semester. Our next meeting is Tuesday, January 11th. Thanks.
Thank you, Chairman Schlushauer. Community Communication Chair, Ms. Johnson.
Yes, we had our first community communications meeting on November 22nd to set the goals and to review our charter. We also approved our 3 new community members. Later tonight, we're going to hopefully approve that charter and the goals set forth. We did have to do a small revision in the charter. Last year, I believe we only had 2 board members. This year we have 3, which allows us to go to 3 full community members. So we had to revise the charter to allow us to have 3 in it. I'm working to set another meeting up before the end of December so that the community members can get up to speed on the new webpage that the committee approved last year, so that hopefully we can get that moved forward and present to the whole board hopefully in January so that we can get that going. I can move right on to Audit Committee, which is next. We had our audit meeting on November 15th. We had our second audit meeting, and I want to thank Trustee Odoms and Trustee Morgan and our community members, Ms. Silva and Ms. Raymond, for attending. We had, I believe it was the internal risk assessment group to discuss this year's timelines and what we were going to be doing. We also reviewed the committee charter and discussed possible topics for the agreed upon procedures, which we do every year. And our next meeting is set for January 10th at 5:30. As of right now, the meeting is set for in-person in room 105 here at WAP Junior. And then I can go right into the third one for myself, which is the update for the Indian Forum. Mr. Lumia has asked me to look into it. I have reached out to the Stockbridge Muncie group several times over the last 2 months. The woman that took over for Heather was only working, Heather Brunel, I believe was her last name, was only working 1 day a week. She only returned my call 1 time. It was a telephone tag. I was in a different meeting. Last week she went full time. I've been trying 2 to 3 times a day since then. I have not heard back from her. I have spoken to the local Indian representative here, Ms. Star Dancer, and she is ready to give a presentation in January on why we should keep the mascot, with some concessions, obviously, that we have already done, which is take away the character guy that we got rid of last year. So I will be firming up some dates with her and getting back to you on that.
Thank you for your hard work, Trustee Johnson. Yes, John?
Point of information, Trustee Johnson, do we have a mailing address for the former person that has been in contact and actually, I guess, has initiated some contact with the board?
The 2 community members?
No, the
previous lady who,
Heather, she moved out of state. She's like, she doesn't even live on the reservation anymore. She left everything.
Right, that's not, my question was, did we have a mailing address?
I don't know if we did. I have spoken to people there and they've relayed the messages to the new young woman, but she's the only one that can answer my questions. And she just went full time a week ago. So I'm going to give her a couple more weeks to return my call. I gather she's only getting into this at this point. So
might I just suggest that maybe we draft a letter and send it, given that organization, based on local media accounts, has been proactive in reaching out to local media, saying that the board hasn't been responsive or has been slow to be responsive, that just to document that the work that you are doing.
I will send out a letter this week to them.
Just a suggestion.
I will send it out to her.
thank you. Next, Dr. Carwell, curriculum.
Good afternoon. The Curriculum Committee met on November 10th. The committee members selected topics that they were going to discuss at future committee meetings. The committee will meet on January 12th, and we will begin to discuss the elective courses that are being offered at the secondary level, specifically technology education courses. We're going to look at continuity of resources and offerings at each of our secondary schools, and if we need to modify our resources or offerings, we will have that conversation at that meeting.
Thank you, Dr. Carwell. Peggy?
Okay.
Policy?
The Policy Committee met last Wednesday, December 1st, and we reviewed policies related to our facilities, both construction and maintenance and other operations of the facilities. The changes made were all either were basically grammatical changes or terminology required by the state education department. So there's no substantive change at all. There was also an update to the agenda preparation policy, which basically brought us in just up to date to what we're already doing and what the state recommended. But we were ahead of the state in doing it. So it was just correcting the policy wording. And you'll see the policies are up for first reading tonight, at which time we do not discuss them. But if anyone has any questions, please do email me, and I'd be happy to give you any more details. Okay.
The Duchess County School Board Association.
All right. The last Thursday was the Duchess County School Boards Association meeting. Dr. Bonk also attended. It was an interesting presentation on the Pine Plains pre-kindergarten program. They've had their program for 7 years. We're in our first year of this. Their program is completely set up and provided by the district. They don't have any private pre-K programs in their district. So they said, really, this was a great need. It's all done in-house at their Early Learning Center, which is pre-K through first grade. The children go on the school buses once they turn 4. By state law, they have to be in car seats until they're 4. So some fall birthdays, the parents have to drive them until the time that they turn 4. This was it was interesting because they said they found a significant improvement in readiness. Of course, it's a voluntary program at pre-K, so not all the children in the district attend, but a great many do. And they said that another thing they did, which was interesting, was that they had enough staff at the time they started the program who were also certified for pre-K and were happy to take those positions. So it was teachers who already had been working in their district. So they found that was very satisfactory. So it was quite interesting. They are, of course, a very tiny district, and we're a very large district. So not everything can be done here that was done there. But it was interesting to hear. Thank you.
In summary, I'd like to thank all the chair people for chairing these committees, as well as the board members who attended, and as well as the committee for contributing to this committee discussions. With that, 5.01 Superintendent Report. Dr. Bonk.
Thank you, President Lumia, Vice President Kellen, members of the Board of Education, and members of the public. I'd like to thank you for being in attendance this evening. As you heard earlier, President Lumia alluded to our scholar athlete recognitions. And our recognition does not only go to our scholar athletes, but it also goes to our coaches and our parents. As we all know, no one is successful by themselves. So we would like to thank the entire team who was involved in working with these students to not only do phenomenally well on the athletic field, but be scholars in the classroom. So I'm going to take a few moments I won't be able to go through the names of the 300 plus individuals, but I would like to recognize the teams, the awards, and the grade point averages. We'll start with the John Jay's Boys Cross Country Team Award, 33 individual award recipients. Their team average, 94.76. Roy C. Ketchum Boys Cross Country Team Award and 15 individual award recipients. Team average, 93.44. John Jay Girls Cross Country, they got the team award and 13 individual award recipients, team average 95.52. Roy C. Ketchum Girls Cross Country, team award, 6 individual award recipients, the team average 94.2. John Jay Game Day Cheerleading, they got the team award and 12, yes, absolutely, and 12 individual award recipients for a team average of 91.16. Royce, yes, round of applause. I've got more. Royce Ketchum, game day cheerleading, 10 individual award recipients, team average 89.98. John J. Field Hockey, team award, and 12 individual recipients, team average 92.48. Royce Ketchum Field Hockey, team award, 19 individual recipients, team average 95.22. John J. Football, team award, and 16 individual award recipients, team average 90.48. Royce Ketchum Football, 16 individual award recipients, team average 89.72. John J. Boys Soccer, team award, and 13 individual award recipients, a team average of 93.89. Royce Ketchum Boys Soccer, team award, and 17 individual award recipients, team average 92.53. John J. Girls Soccer, team award, and 20 individual award recipients, team average 95.75. Royce Ketchum Girls Soccer, team award, and 20 individual award recipients, team average 95.90. John J. Girls Swimming, team award, and 12 individual award recipients, team average 94.69. Royce Ketchum High School Girls Swimming, team award, and 11 individual award recipients, team average 95.18. John J. Girls Tennis, team award, and 12 individual award recipients, team average 96.36. Royce Ketchum Girls Tennis, team award, and 11 individual award recipients, team average 95.59. John J. Volleyball, team award, and 12 individual award recipients, team average 96.55. And Royce Ketchum Volleyball, team award, and 12 individual award recipients, team average 95.10. Let's give a big round of applause, please. Needless to say, we are very proud of all involved in these phenomenal accomplishments, and we were very, very happy as a school district to provide these types of opportunities for our students this fall, in which many of you know last year we weren't able to do that. That has been a commitment of this school district and this Board of Education, our coaches, our staff, and our parents, and we're glad to see individuals here tonight to celebrate their fine accomplishments. And that's it, President Lumia. Thank you.
That's quite an accomplishment. Okay, consent agenda, 6.01. Does anybody want to remove anything from the consent agenda?
Mr. Sessions.
Sorry?
6.09, charter request number 2.
Anyone else?
Book club.
Anything else? Okay, Peggy?
Okay.
Actually, President
sorry.
Lumia, I don't want to pull it, but I just want to recognize that we have, as we know from the applause earlier, quite a few members that are very interested in 6.10, a state championship team that we've previously recognized at board meetings, but we have a lot of the members here, so I just wanted to point that out. And sorry to interrupt you, Vice President Kellen, in reading the resolution.
That's fine. Congratulations, and recognition is always worth interrupting. Okay. Resolved that the Board of Education does hereby approve the following consent agenda items as stated. 6.02 and addendum, 6.03 and addendum, 6.04, 6.05, 6.06, 6.07, 6.08, 6.09, except number 2, 6.10, and 6.11.
Motion?
So moved.
Hey, Marie, Eddie, Jimmy, all those in favor? Aye. Aye. 6.09?
6.09, just a minute.
02?
6.09, approval of new John J. Club charters, number 2.
Thank you. This is more of a request. If Dr. Caldwell, because I don't see Mr. K or Mr. Castro is with us tonight, but if it's possible, if you could just get word, and I will also try to reach out to the advisor, Ms. Ingalls. I have an enormous amount of books that I am dying to get out of my shed, and I would be honored to make the first large donation to this book club in order for these books to now be utilized for students throughout our district and throughout our community. So I'm very supportive of this, but again, for selfish reasons, I'm making a public plea to please make arrangements with me to pick up these books. Thank you very much.
I would like to echo Mr. Sloshower. I also have boxes and bags of books I would be very happy to share.
Anyone else? Anyone else with any donations?
Yes.
I have photos with me.
Motion? All in favor? Unanimous. 7.02, approval of change.
0.01.
7.01, where's 7.0?
0.01.
I always miss that son again.
Yeah.
7.0, approval of 2021-2022 health services rate.
Resolved that the Board of Education of Wappinger Central School District establish a rate of $884.13 per pupil for the school year 2021-2022 for health services provided to non-resident pupils attending non-public schools in the Wappinger Central School District. All costs are billed to the home school for reimbursement.
Motion, Marie, second. Peggy? Oh, discussion? All in favor? Aye, unanimous. 7.02, approval of change orders, PBS construction.
Resolved that the Board of Education does hereby approve the following PVS construction change orders of the 2018 district-wide HVAC renovations project. Number 14, John Jay Nursing Office Suite in the amount of $19,390.80. Number 15, John Jay Ductwork Openings in the amount of $16,116.67. Number 16, John Jay Rooftop Openings for Ductwork in the amount of $16,547.57. Number 18, RCK Pitch Pockets and Curbs on Roof for Ductwork and new handrail on existing stair in the amount of $15,700.30. And number 20, John Jay Reframe Openings for Unit Ventilators in the amount of $17,600 as per memo dated November 29th, 2021 from Rhinebeck Architecture to the Director of Facilities and Operations and recommended by the Superintendent of Schools.
Motion, Marie, Peggy, second. I think Mr. Slaughter already explained in his opening statement regarding these change orders. Unless he wants to make another statement.
Okay.
All those in favor? Unanimous. 7.03, appointment of members of the district-wide school safety team.
Whereas the Board of Education of the Wappinger Central School District is committed to ensuring and maintaining a safe school environment for all students, staff, and visitors, and whereas on July 1st, 2016, the New York State Education Department amended Section 155.17 of the Regulations of the Commissioner of Education regarding school safety plans and mandated that the district-wide safety plan be developed by the district-wide safety team and updated annually and be available for public comment at least 30 days prior to its adoption. Whereas Section 2801A4 of the New York State Education Law mandates that each district-wide safety team shall be appointed annually by the Board of Education, and whereas the district-wide safety team shall include, but not be limited to, representatives of the school board, teachers, administrators, and parent organizations, school safety personnel, and other school personnel. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Education, upon the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, hereby appoints the members of the Wappingers District-wide School Safety Team as stated.
Motion, Marie, second. Peggy, discussion? All those in favor? Unanimous? 7.04,
President Lumia, can I make a comment?
you can make two comments.
Thank you. I would like to thank all of the individuals involved in the district safety team. As we know, the safety of our staff and students is paramount, And I would like to thank all of those individuals who are going to be giving up their time working with the district and working with our buildings to ensure that our buildings are as safe as they possibly can. So thanks to all of you.
Okay, very good. 7.04, approval of the 2021-2022 Community Communications Charter.
Okay. Resolved that the Board of Education does hereby approve the 2021-2022 Community Communications Committee Charter. This is an ad hoc committee. Therefore, the charter must be reviewed and approved by the board each year. Changes include the goals of the work of this committee for the 2021-2022 school year, title change for the Public Information Officer, and the number of community members from no more than 2 community members to no more than 3 community members.
Motion, Marie, Eddie, discussion? All in favor? Unanimous?
If I could make another comment. I'm sorry.
Today is the
Needless to
comment.
say, one of our themes this year is connecting with our community and providing proper, prompt, and accurate communication. That is a priority that we all have, and I'd like to thank all of the members of the Communications Committee who are working on cutting-edge ways to get the information to you as quickly as possible, as accurately as possible. And I don't want to steal anybody's thunder here, but I think we're going to see some exciting things happening this year through the Communications Committee. I'd like to thank all those people for all their efforts as well.
And in
Thank you.
particular, she's exceptional.
Absolutely.
Marie Johnson, she
Trustee
does
Johnson.
phenomenal work.
Absolutely, well-deserved.
All right, 7.05. Any comments, Dr. Bond?
Nothing further, President Lumia.
Second reading and adoption of policies.
Resolved that the Board of Education of the Wappinger Central School District hereby approves the second reading of and adopts the following policies based upon the first reading by the board and the recommendation of the policy committee as stated. Additions are underlined and or highlighted in green. Deletions are red and strike-throughs.
Motion, Marie, second. Peggy, all those, any discussion? All in favor? Unanimous. Thank you. 7.06, first reading of policies. As Chairman Peggy Kellen stated, please review those. The community should review these. And if you have any comments, please address them to the Chairwoman. Okay. Peggy, that's it.
Nothing to read, really.
Okay. 8.01, board members may be requested addition for agenda items. Are there any addition to the agenda? Seeing none. Comments from the public? I'm sorry? I can't hear.
Those were in the addendums.
Any comments from the public?
Hello.
Is that food?
No, it's not. It's communication from the public. And I'd like to thank Dr. Bonk for his commitment to developing strong communication with the public. All of you may be aware that last month, the FDA approved the Pfizer COVID vaccine for emergency use for children in the age group 5 to 11. You're also aware that we've seen a number of parents and community members come to board meetings so far this fall to discuss their opposition to various mandates related to COVID. What you may not know is that soon after the FDA approved the emergency use, there was a call for action circulating across the state on social media for parents who were opposed to the possibility of a potential mandate for the COVID vaccine for elementary age students to protest by taking a pair of shoes and leaving it outside their district offices to send a message. And I saw that there were local parents who were getting involved in that. The goal on the message that was circulating statewide was the shoes would be donated to charity. And I didn't see that anyone locally was stepping up to make sure that that was happening. So I reached out to Dr. Bonk because there were shoes that were left outside of district office. I also noticed locally on social media the next day that there were parents who were upset that they felt that their message wasn't being heard. So I just wanted to report to you that the shoes that were left have been donated to charity through the WJHS PTA, and that while you've seen a handful of people come and speak at meetings, there were 161 pairs of shoes, each representing a district child, left outside district office. Most of those contained a note, mostly handwritten notes from parents and from students. And parents on social media seemed to be upset that nobody would be hearing their message. So, Mr. Lumia, I would like to give all of the notes that accompanied those shoes to Ms. Pedro for the board to read. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments? I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting. All those in favor? Second, there's got to be a second. My apologies. Second, Marie, all those in favor?